Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please welcome to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj's class, daily call. My humble obeisances to you all. Welcome, Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse 42. Can you see my screen, Guru Maharaj?
Yeah, you can see very good. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. You can take over, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
1 minute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vriksasya nastam trinpadam tapasaucham dayamiti pratisandada asvaya mahim cha samavardayat. Translation. Okay. Thereafter, the king reestablished the lost legs of the personality of Godhead. The personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Read again. Thereafter, the king reestablished the lost legs of the personality of religion, the form of a bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Purport. By designating particular places for the personality of Kali, Maharaj Parikshit practically cheated Kali. In the presence of Kali, Dharma, shape of the bull, and the earth in the shape of a cow, could actually estimate the general condition of his kingdom, and therefore he at once took proper steps to re-establish the legs of the bull, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. And for the general benefit of the people of the world, he saw that the gold stock might be employed for stabilization. Gold is certainly a generator of falsity, intoxication, prostitution, enmity, and violence. But under the guidance of a proper king or public leader, or brahmana or sannyasi, the same gold can be properly utilized to re-establish the lost legs of the bull, personality of religion. Maharaj Parikshit, therefore, like his grandfather Arjun, collected all illicit gold kept for the propensities of Kali and employed it in the Sankirtan Yajna, as per the instruction of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As we have suggested before, one's accumulated wealth may be divided into 3 parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord, 25% for family members, and 25% for personal necessities. Spending 50% for the service of the Lord or for propagation of spiritual knowledge in society by way of the Sankirtan Yagya is the maximal display of human mercy. People of the world are generally in darkness regarding spiritual knowledge, especially in regard to the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, to propagate the systematic transcendental knowledge of devotional service, it is the greatest mercy that one can show in this world. When everyone is taught to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the Lord's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensue, and thus the lost three legs of the personality of Godhead are automatically established. When there is sufficient austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, naturally Mother Earth is completely satisfied, and there is very little chance for Kali to infiltrate the structure of human society. Umagyantimidandasya Ginajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirasesa Sunyavari Vastyatya De Satarine Vanshakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Hari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lakshmi, the word Lakshmi indicates wealth, and wealth actually is precious metals. So actually Lakshmi belongs to Narayan. But what we see is Ravana has come and stolen Lakshmi in order to build Lanka and his power over all other kingdoms. So this is the particular situation in the world today. The Lakshmi, or wealth, is used for sinful or exploitative types of activities. And therefore, people are not able to get the benefit of wealth in any sense. It's being used to propagate a person's desire for sense gratification or to build some kind of kingdom by which they can exploit the earth. But here it says that when one starts to sacrifice their hard-earned wealth to support religious principles in the world, and when that is done in mass, then all of these bad qualities will disappear. Because, as it says here, especially in relationship to this principle of gold, that it is being hoarded for nefarious reasons. And that because of that, no one's happy. Maharaj Parikshit, he is intelligent enough to give Kali places that don't exist for his domain. But Kali entered in. How did Kali enter in? It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Kali entered in through one Brahmin boy, and that was a Shringi. When Shringi cursed Maharaj Parikshit because supposedly Maharaj Parikshit didn't honor his father in the proper way. Shringi was a young boy. He was born in a Brahmin family. He had some Brahma tejas, and he used his Brahman tejas to take advantage of a situation that actually wasn't even any deviation, but it appeared to be from a certain angle of vision that Maharaj Pariksit had offended Shamak Rishi, who was the father of Shringi. And Shringi became angry and he wanted to show off also amongst his friends, so he used his breath to curse the king. Of course, Maharaj Pariksit was powerful enough to counteract the curse, but he didn't, because he accepted it as the arrangement of the Lord and as an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. So here's another example of how great souls see everything, even reverses, as means to take advantage of making progress in spiritual life, or even going back to Godhead. For devotees, nothing is inauspicious. That's why when we say this is good and this is bad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this is all mental speculation. Because in the material world, nothing is good. And from the material perspective, everything is bad. But for a devotee, everything is good. Because devotees connect everything with Krishna. And therefore, they can see Krishna's hand in everything and take advantage of that and use their intelligence to move forward in spiritual life. And that was Maharaj Pariksit. He didn't take issue with Shringi, although he could have, but he didn't. He took it. But back to the point, and that the point was that Maharaj Pariksit had kept Kali out, but this Brahmin boy Shringi brought Kali in. And that's mentioned in that pastime, that Kali came in by this Brahmin boy, and he unfairly cursed a great personality. And so cheating and what we say, some kind of activity to show off his Brahma Tejas, or his power, led to the downfall of this age, or the beginning of Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga was brought in like that. So Kali had no chance anywhere else. But Kali was looking for a place to enter, and he found it. And now Kali is everywhere. Intoxication. Every city, even small towns, have their public intoxication domains. Falsity goes on all the time. People speak lies, or they speak sophistry. Sophistry means half truth and half lies. Like if a merchant will tell you, well, actually, I'm giving you this at cost price, so I'm not making any profit. He can't, he says that just to make it sound like he's giving you a special bargain, but he lies because he can never keep his business going if he did that way. Oh, falsity is there. Prostitution. Now it's legal prostitution. Prabhupada said the whole idea of women's liberation is a plot by men to break the bonds of women, so there'll be free pick of men to have relationships with any and every lady. Once they get away from their caretakers, then they're easily exploited by men. Because men know how to exploit women. There's a science on how to do that, and they know how to do it. And they take advantage of that and exploit women, and for their own selfish and licentious reasons. So prostitution is everywhere, but it's legal now. You don't even have to pay for it. Enmity, there's always fights between one nation and another, and it leads to violence. And there's violence on all levels: violence in the family, violence in the community, violence in the cities, violence in the nation, international. So all of this, Kali has gotten in, and he's spreading his poison everywhere. But the Sankirtan movement is the way to push back the effects of Kali and ultimately to eliminate Kali altogether. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he is the Kali Yuga avatar to destroy the effects of Kali. Simply by his presence and his teachings of Harinam Sankirtan, he chases the dog of Kali far away. Kali cannot stand when there's Harinam Sankirtan. At least when there's Harinam Sankirtan that is done in a devotion, in a way to purify the atmosphere and to purify the participants who are taking place in that Sankirtan. So Prabhupada also, he again makes this point. He says that I did a little research and I found that spending 50% of your hard-earned income for spiritual movements, Prabhupada said it at least 10 times in different places throughout the books. What they speak of what he said it in his lectures, that's even more. But nobody follows that, or nobody thinks it's needed to follow, or they actually think it's too difficult to follow. So there always is a concession where we say, well, if you can't follow it, at least give something. So that way you think the money belongs to Krishna because money is Lakshmi and Lakshmi sits on the lotus feet of Narayan. Lakshmi can never be separated from Narayan. And those who try to separate Lakshmi from Narayan, just like Ravana tried to do that, and what did he get? He got Durga. He didn't get Lakshmi. He got a false Lakshmi. And what did he get? Death. So those who use wealth for wrong reasons, eventually that wealth will be the cause of their demise in due course of time. Because wealth belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Bhagavan. He is the source of all wealth, and all wealth is meant for his service. Of course, he is very kind, and he allows his devotees to take what they need to live in this material world and live nicely, happily, but still engage in devotional service. And people somehow think, well, just like they think, well, I have so much wealth, and if I spend it for Krishna, then I have that much less. But that's a material calculation, and it's not actually factual. When you spend wealth for Krishna, Krishna gives you more. He actually gives you more. There was one devotee. He was a businessman, very big businessman, traveled around the world doing businesses in many countries. And he became very generous and started to use a lot of his wealth to help build temples, to push on projects. In other words, he gave large amounts of money. And then he was so enthusiastic to exclaim that since I started to use my wealth for Krishna consciousness, my businesses increased 800%. In other words, he never lost anything, but he actually gained by using. But this is an example, and that's a fact. Whatever you use for Krishna, it's never lost. Krishna says, oh, they're using their wealth for me, let me give them more. And so he does. So they continue in that way. So it's not that we have to be, what we say, thinking that well, if I give to Krishna, I have that much less. That's only true in the material world. Just like if you give your time to Krishna, you get more time. You give your energy to Krishna, Krishna gives you more energy. You give your, what we say, wealth, he gives you more wealth. whatever you give to Krishna, it's never decreases. It always increases because Krishna gives you more so you can continue to give in that way. That's Krishna. And if he wants, he can give you $1 billion overnight if he wants. He can do that. That's happened to a few people. At least one person I know became a millionaire overnight. Simply someone left their body and left him a large donation. And that was millions and millions and millions of dollars. So, Krishna's in control of everything if Krishna wants. And if Krishna wants, you can keep all your money and try to spend it for your own selfish interests and your own personal interests. And then what happens? You lose it. So, or somebody steals it, or somebody cheats you out of it, or something goes wrong. It's just like you. So, but devotional service is never a loss on any level. It's always a gain. But of course, the devotees don't think like that. They don't think, just like the whole process of charity. That's mentioned in the scriptures, that if you give in charity to an ordinary person, you get it back. If you give to a Brahmin, you get it back double. If you give it to a qualified Brahmin, you get it back hundreds of times. And if you give it to a Vidvan Brahmin, one who is fixed in transcendental knowledge, then you get it back unlimitedly. That's the process of dan, or charity. That's mentioned in the scriptures. So to give something to Krishna means to actually gain on all levels, because just by the process of giving, when it's done to please Krishna, it's done to propagate religious principles, and is done in that mood, it becomes a source of great happiness for the devotee. So that's Krishna consciousness. So here we see Maharaj Parikshit. He cheats Kali, and Kali can't find a place to go. But as we mentioned, and that'll come up, it comes up earlier in the first canto, the story of Maharaj Parikshit being cursed by the Brahmin boy Kali. And there's where Kali made his entrance into this age. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here, Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Voyanasana, Sri Sachinandana Namre. Kali Voyanasana, Nasana means to destroy. He destroys Kali simply by his presence and by his Sankirtan movement. For those who seriously and regularly take to the Sankirtan movement, Kali doesn't even exist for them. He's gone. He doesn't even exist. That's the power of the Sankirtan movement. So devotees should get together as much as possible, have kirtan, discuss philosophy, and take Krishna prasadam, and be happy. It's a very easy, very simple, a very direct process, but it requires attention. It requires some desire. If it's done when you have time, then you never have time, because Maya will always give you reasons why you don't have time. Just like every time you decide to make a move on a spiritual level, Maya will propose some emergency on the material level for you to take care of. She sees, oh, this person's going to go to the retreat in Italy. Oh no, I got to figure out ways to cheat that person out of going there. So she'll come up with some, oh, your friend you haven't seen for 20 years is coming on that weekend to see you. Or your boss says you got to work this weekend and I'll give you double pay. And it's just like that. It's just And I'm not exaggerating because I've been privy to this for decades. Every time there is a move to really juice up your spiritual life in a big way, such as such gatherings, then Kali's there to make his proposition, to make his petition. And we always think, oh, yes, I have to do this. I have to. Yeah, and that's Kali says, yeah, I got another one. And that's Kali. It's not accidental. It's there to test you. In one sense, it's a test to see where your priorities are in life. Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for another really nice, instructive class. And I will request all the devotees, if you have any questions, if you want to clarify any of your doubts, please raise your hands and Maharaj can help you with that. And it'll be nice if you can put on your video cameras on.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I can't see any hands raised at the moment, Maharaj. I have a question. You instructed really nicely that 50% of our income should be used for Krishna, any devotional activities, right?
Well, I'm not going to give it as an instruction, but I know that Prabhupada has mentioned it at least 10 times in different places in his books. That we can reference. That's there. But devotees feel that it's optional. So we don't force it. We don't force it. But it's recommended. And if you can't do it, it's not an offense. But if you can do it, it'll be a great opportunity to serve the Sankirtan movement. So, like that. That's the way we see it. We don't really make it, Rupa Goswami's example was taken as the foundation for this particular, that he gave 50% of all of his earnings to the Sankirtan movement. 25% is kept for emergencies. That means you put that in the bank, 25%, or you put it into some safe. And the other 25% you live on. But we live way beyond our means nowadays. And so when they say 25% of our income to live on, we say it's not possible.
It's difficult, definitely. I was just about to say that with 25% with this day and age of inflammation is so difficult.
Anyway, everyone should give something. That's the point.
Okay, that's so good. Yeah, okay. Anyone else have got any questions so far? You can type in the chat and I can read it as well. Please. Okay. Here we go. Krishna Kaviraj Das Prabhu, go for it.
You accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, all glories to all of the devotees here. Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, he could have stopped that curse. He was emperor of the world and he must have known that his citizens all over the world were at risk of the effects of Kali. So he had, in one sense, he had his duty to protect the welfare of his citizens, but he decided to take the curse, accept the curse. So how does one know when to just take what comes and when when to try and stop what's happening?
How does one know? By intelligence. Intelligence comes from super soul. Or by going to authority, such as spiritual master or someone who's on the level of a spiritual master, and presenting your situation and asking for guidance.
Okay.
But if you can do it by intelligence, then but that intelligence has to, you have to make sure that you're actually acting on the platform of intelligence and not on personal interest. Personal interest, that's why we say when it's important to keep a regulated schedule, because that way we can act on intelligence and not on personal interest. When we're regulated, then we do everything according to that regulation. And when there's some decision that comes up, generally you can think about what to do. You can pray, you can research the instructions of your spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada, or you can approach a qualified person. There's always recourse for everything in Krishna consciousness. If we don't use it, we think it doesn't exist, but it exists.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a really nice question. Actually, that was my another question I was going to ask as well, but thank you for asking that, Prabhuji. There is another devotee, Teja Chekha Prabhu. Would you please go for it?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my invitation. Maharaj, I have a question, maybe a little off the topic, but so like how to stop, getting excited about the material things.
How to stop what?
How to stop getting excited about the material things.
Excited?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to get excited about. That's why. That's an illusion. Material things are coming and going. If something material comes and it's good, or at least apparently good, then use it for Krishna. And then it becomes a benefit. You use it for yourself, then then you pick up karma, or you pick up some reaction. Let's use it for Krishna. That's devotees consider their good fortune or their situation as opportunities to use for Krishna. Just like if you have a nice house, you open it up, invite preachers, hold programs, and then the house is actually beneficial. You have a nice house and you just think, I got so many rooms in the house and I can sleep in any one of them. Then you're in Maya. So you have to understand that whatever comes by way of material nature is actually coming by way of Krishna through the material nature, and we take advantage of it and use it.
Does it help, Prabhuji?
Use it for Krishna. Just like if you're sick and you come across some medicine that really helps to cure your sickness, you think, wow, that's nice. You get excited about it, but at the same time, you think, now that my health is better, I can do more service. So you always connect everything to Krishna. Otherwise, if we connect it to some material benefit, the end result was that it'll always, again, leave you in due course of time. It's temporary. May not. Anyway, what is good and what is bad in this world? Sometimes what we see as good or getting excited over is results in something inauspicious. For example, in the US, there was in many other countries, I guess, but particularly in the US, there's the lottery, where people put a few dollars down and they get a ticket. And then there's a drawing, and there's a large amount of money won by the one whose ticket is drawn. So people have become rich overnight. Sometimes $8 million, $4 million. But then there was a survey done to follow up on how the lives of these people who had won large amount of money, how did it go after they had won? And most of all of their lives went to hell. Mostly all of them, because sometimes people wanted to steal the money off them. Relatives wanted to cheat money out of them. They used the money to get intoxicated or get in sinful activities, and they got in trouble, or their health was destroyed. So the survey showed a large percentage, a very large percentage of people who actually won the lottery, because you can't change your karma. Karma works in such a way that whatever happens to you, it doesn't mean you're going to get good karma from that or bad karma from that. It comes by way of the material energy under your allotted karma. Tasyaivo hetu pratite nakovito nadlabyate tadpamata uparyadan tatalabyate dukanam anya sukam kalena sarvatra gambira ramhasa. That people are trying to bring about goodness in their life and push back, but you can't. You can't do it. You're allotted so much happiness and distress. You may move around in the world to manipulate the material energy, and you may be able to change how your happiness and distress comes, but it comes in the same amount. The amount cannot change. The only way you can change your amount is to take the devotional service. Once you come to devotional service, all of your past karma is gradually destroyed by the power of devotional service. Then you're no longer under the influence of good and bad coming by way of material. It's all coming by way of Krishna for your spiritual advancement. So we don't get excited over anything material, because we see, oh, all right, Krishna has given me this good situation. Therefore, I can use it in some way to serve Krishna. That's how a devotee thinks.
Mhm. Okay, Prabhuji, hope that helps.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Such a lovely question. And we came to know so many things out of that as well. I've got further question, but I think Amritanam Mataji is waiting patiently. So go for it, Amritanam Mataji.
Amritanam, you're spelling your name again different than I gave it to you.
Is it Amrit Nam?
It's Amrita, but there's no I in it. The I is a phonetical thing that people use for pronunciation. But the actual Sanskrit is Amrta. It's pronounced, both are pronounced the same way, Amrita, but one is a more of a phonetical, linguistic way of helping people to pronounce it. And it's also beneficial. People use it also, but the actual Sanskrit is Amrta.
Yes, Gurmat. But here sometimes they pronounce Amrit. So that is why I specifically added it.
All right, go ahead. Use the A then. We don't want to change your name. You can use the I then. Go ahead.
Yeah. God family knows it well, but apart from God family, they find it difficult. So I had to specifically add I. I'm sorry for that.
All right. You're free to do it if you want.
Thank you very much. As my humble obeisances, Maharaj, please accept that. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So here we see that Parikshit Maharaj has given a place to Kali in gold. So I was just thinking that practically each and every house has gold. So how do we use our gold in a way that Kali doesn't affect us?
Yeah, the tradition in Indian culture or Hindu culture is that when a girl gets born, there's a large amount of money given that she uses later on for her marriage, or she keeps, or she gets jewelry and gold and like that. Yeah. How to use that? Well, keep it and use it in emergencies.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Does that help?
Yeah, but I was just thinking on the level of maybe on the house level or individual level. Okay, but when it comes to the state level, government level, this gold, how that should be consumed to be.
You can't spend gold. You have to trade it in for cash. People will not take gold as an exchange, nor will the governments. But there are places who buy, there's so many of these shops that says we buy gold. But people are hoarding gold because they know the cash flow goes, they got wealth. So keep it for emergencies. And the cash flow is going to go soon. Just get ready. They're really serious about this digital currency. It's coming up really slowly, slowly, slowly. There'll be no cash very soon. And it's being tested and tried. There's even places in the UK where you can't spend cash. You go in to buy to a store, they won't take cash anymore. But they're phasing out cash. It's going to be digital. That means they control everything, your bank accounts too. Get ready. Kali's moving fast. Pretty soon, everything. Yeah, they want to control everything on all levels. What you eat, how you think, what you buy, what you have, what you do. And there's so yeah, if you have precious metals, keep it. Don't sell it. You might need it in emergencies.
Hey, Mataji, does it help?
Yes, we should live probably like a mendicant only. That would help.
Yeah,
Thank you.
precious metals are actually wealth, not this paper stuff. It's not wealth. Just keep it for emergency. That's all.
That is a brilliant advice, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. I think that helps Amrita Mataji, is it?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Sri Devi Mataji.
Thank you, Sukavaha. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, on the subject of gold, I know that in my family line, every time a girl was married, a lot of jewelry, gold, etc. was given, and it was considered Stri Dhan. That means a woman's wealth.
Right.
And was given to her for, as you said, for emergencies, for any bad event or anything happening in the family. And this wealth was not to be touched by her in-laws, by her husband. It was hers. It was hers for emergencies. Maybe some child needs something like that.
I know
So,
all that. Yeah, that I know.
okay. So also the belief was wearing gold. Wearing gold is actually having a beneficial effect on the body, because tiny particles of gold, every time a woman bathes and every time she washes her hair and things like that, those tiny particles of gold would be beneficial for her skin, for her body, etc. So there was a scientific reason for her to wear bangles, anklets, waist belt, amulets, nose ring, etc. And I remember my mother saying there's a scientific reason why certain piercings are done, because of some nerve endings and something, all to promote health. I don't remember the details. And so gold wasn't just for showing off, but it had many reasons. Now, when we say precious metals are slowly going to, be out of circulation very fast, if we have to keep it for emergencies and all, that is also, I mean, how can we get away from the fact that we are hoarding that gold?
What do you mean?
Because we are just keeping it in the bank locker or something like that. We are not using it on ourselves, but we are just keeping it in the locker, let's say. Is that?
What are you going to do with it? You can sell it. There are people who buy gold.
I'm not speaking of myself. I've just given it all away to my daughter. I'm done with gold. I don't have to worry about it, Guru Maharaj. But I'm just saying, in general, Indian homes, we tend to keep gold in lockers and things like that.
Okay. Thank you. You didn't give any questions. You just told me a little bit about the situation. That's all.
No, I wanted to know whether hoarding of gold, because Kali enters where gold is hoarded. So I was just wondering about that part, whether we can escape the effects of Kali if we keep gold like that in the locker. That was my question.
I give it to Krishna.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, that's easy. Thank you.
You find out where they're building a new temple, you can give it.
Brilliant. or else we can use it in the farm community, Mataji. Okay, any more questions? This is such an interesting topic, and there should be a lot of questions. But I don't think so. Anyone has got Guru Maharaj is okay. I will ask you one question. When you were explaining about the karma and the devotional service, when we are offering the devotional service, we slowly get rid of our karmas. Just to be more clarification on that one, do we have to suffer through the karmas and we get rid of it, or it just gets balanced with the devotional service?
Well, karma gets eliminated by the power of bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
Automatically. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's all, because if you had to if you had to accept your karma at the same time engage in devotional service, it would make it more difficult for you to do devotional service. And practically impossible. So that's a way of making devotional service free from any influence. We get residual karma, that's called parabdha karma. That is when there is some residual karma there still left. That's what the Supreme Lord allows you to see. This is parabdha karma, is that karma that hasn't fructified, but it'll fructify at a certain age. Karma goes through 4 steps: bija, aparabdha, huta, and parabdha. 4 stages. Planting the seed, developing it, becoming mature, and actually manifesting. The different stages of how karma develops. So just like we do something, and this is on the material level, we do something on a material level, and we don't get a reaction, but we planted the seed. And as the seed starts to grow in due course of time, it will mature and the reaction will come in one way or the other, depending on the nature of the karma, nature of the activity.
So
we see that all the time. People are getting reactions and they can't understand why things are happening because it's things they've done in the past or even sometimes previous lives.
That is true.
There's many examples like that.
Yeah, that makes so much of sense, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. I think Amrita Nam Mataji has got another question. Is it Amrita Nam Mataji?
Oh no, sorry, I forgot to lower down my hand. Sorry.
All right, no worries. That's fine. Any other questions? Let me check the chat. There's no questions in the chat as well. Another point I wanted to make it clear, Guru Maharaj, was, when in the explanation you mentioned that Kali entered through Brahman boy Shringi. Normally Kali affects the person who's not pure, isn't it? Not pure devotee. So how does this Brahman boy was affected by Kali? Is it just because to give the karma to Parikshit Maharaj? If you can just make it a little bit more clear, please.
That he wanted to show off amongst his friends that he had power. So he did that. Of course, he was also disturbed that it happened to his father. But it says that he just wanted to show his friends that he had power.
But in that case, Guru Maharaj, if the boy had wanted to show off, will his curse be this effective? Because he was just showing off, wasn't it? It was.
No, he had the power to curse.
He had the power to curse. Okay.
Yeah. You have that power too. If you curse somebody and you're fixed in devotional service, or you have some Brahma Tejas, then that person is under the influence of that curse. Don't curse anybody.
Because that karma will come back to me anyways. I don't want to curse nobody.
You should not misuse that power. It's there.
That's true. That is so true. Yeah.
We're the well-wisher, everyone, so we don't cause anyone any inauspiciousness.
Yeah. Another one was like when Parikshit Maharaj was a very pure devotee, like Ambrish Maharaj. Why did Parikshit Maharaj got affected with the curse and no Krishna didn't do anything about it?
He saw it as the arrangement of the Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's also mentioned. It was the arrangement of the Lord.
Okay, that's why. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. that answers my question. And I think the Rishabhadas Prabhu has put a question in the chat. Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev and Vaishnavas. Gurudev, can you tell us about Kriyamana Karma, if possible? And
Yep.
how is that connected other types of karma?
I must say I never heard of Priyamana karma, so I don't know.
Okay, Prabhuji, would you like to explain a little bit more about that? Kriyamana Karma? What do you
He's in the other room. I can go talk to him after. Okay.
Okay. But in that way, if he tells us, then we will know some more thing about karma as well.
Go ahead if he wants to tell you.
Yeah.
I know Kriyamana karma. I don't know what exactly that is.
Okay. I don't think so. Prabhuji has replied to that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I just shortly I was hearing this in the lecture of instruction when he was studying the sixth verse about the karma. The devotees were mentioning that Sriyamana karma is a new karma that devotees
Prabhuji, your
develop.
voice is not very clear. We can't hear you properly. Sorry.
The thing is, he has to cite some reference where Kriyamana karma is mentioned. What scripture did you see it in?
We were studying it at Nectar of Instruction, verse number 6. We were studying it part of the seminar in the temple.
Okay, it's in verse number 6 in the purport.
I'm not sure if is it in the Nectar of Instruction or it was connected to the whole topic of karma and getting rid of the karma, but I can try to get some reference, Maharaj, and I will let you and the devotees know.
Sukava, maybe you have the feature where you can go to Nectar of Instructions, go to verse number.
I am just trying that, Guru Maharaj. I'm just about to share my screen for that.
I would like to know what it is too. I never heard of it, but it doesn't mean
Yeah, because that's the Nectar of Instruction, verse number 6.
Okay. See, let's see if you find that statement. Look in the purport. Of course, purports are really long.
Yeah.
Karma, fruit of activities. Janma karma anvritam. Karma. There's a lot of words karma here, but we don't see any kriyamana karma.
Yeah, I can't even see that.
Keep going down the page and see if you see it.
I have to check with the devotee who was giving the class because he was also taking some references from other scriptures when he was doing this class, trying to make the whole concept of karma and how, in which way the devotee is getting rid of karma. And this Kriyamana karma.
The Sringalila has given the answer. She's
Okay.
just flashed that statement up, she says.
Karma.
Sringalila gave the answer.
Yeah, it's a kriyamana is the karma which is now being made in future. It is called the agami or vartamana.
Yeah, put it up on the screen. What she wrote.
Okay. Srimati Mataji, can I do that? Yeah, here we go. Can you see?
Mataji, yes, copy paste
Okay,
the message and put it on.
It was up. I saw it myself.
Yeah, it just comes up and then it goes Guru Maharaj. Just 1 second, I'll try and do that.
It sounds like it's the same thing as Parabdha karma. It's just another name for Parabdha karma, I think.
Can you
Yeah.
see that now?
Kriyamana is that karma which is now being made for the future. Yeah, okay. It's also parabdha karma. It's also called agami or varta.
Vartamana.
Okay, just another name for future karma, which is also called parabdha.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go back to the.
Yeah.
I think we should end here.
Yeah, it is already an hour. Thank you so much, everyone.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Where is what's her? Let me see. Srimati is there somewhere. Yes.
She's here.
Yeah, she's there. Maybe not there, but she's there.
She must be busy.
Well,
I think tomorrow's verse is 43, 44.
Yeah.
I will check with Mataji. Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, the thing is, I won't be doing class on Sunday.
Sunday. Okay.
So I'll do class tomorrow, which is Saturday, and then Sunday I won't be able to do the class.
Okay, I'll pass on the message, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay, and today is Ekadasi, I think, right?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Do you want to do one round?
Thing
Or if
is,
you're busy, then don't worry.
yeah, I'm a little pressed for time today. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. That's fine, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, but you should all do it.
Yes, that's what I was going to request everyone. Please chant extra rounds today. Is a Papmochini Ekadashi, which is really good to chant more rounds today.
No, just do it amongst yourself. Do it around together, everyone.
Now, okay, we can do that, no problems.
But I have to leave. Everybody else can stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for today.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Okay. Srimati Mataji, Guru Maharaj said that he will not be giving class on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yes, Mataji. Sorry, I couldn't respond.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just took your message. So I said,
Yeah,
okay, because he wanted to leave. So I said, okay, I'll pass on the message. Tomorrow, Maharaj can give the class, but on Sunday, he can't. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So if whoever wants to continue with the japa can continue. I will. Yeah. And
Stop
whoever
the live
wants to
stream.
leave, then they can leave. Yeah. Thank you for stopping recording. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can stop the live stream as well.